And we are live. Welcome everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar. In a few moments, I will do a sound check. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Rome, the historical role-playing game. Experience the glory and decadence of Rome like never before. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. A moment please while I check the sound. Sound is good. This channel is also proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment as well. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Tonight I am continuing the Last Rites campaign. So some supplies were abandoned somewhere around here. And we need to recover them. Have my radar. Headlamp. Supply containers. Let's find them. Out of ammo already. I have my shotgun. What is this? Ah, graffiti. Feels like there's items. Gun. Barrels. Careful. Battery pack. Ammo for the UC. Okay. Something is on. It's easier to kill them from this distance, from this position. That's weird. Something's supposed to be there. Can't open this door. How are we supposed to proceed then? Ah, there we go. Battery. Can't open this. Here. Save the game. Jaguar. Over there, are you blind? Are you guys blind? My companions are not being very useful. Not being very intelligent. Let's say you get hired to develop a game, you'll get one of two highly skilled partners. One is a lefty with a Frida Kahlo tattoo. The other is based but is married to a futa. I won't shut up about it. I think the lefty, because the other one would be too distracting. Talking every single time about his partner, his spouse. Difficult choice, but I think that would be my choice. Definitely. Unless it's a lefty that won't shut up, then it could be pretty much the same. On. Ah. Careful. Okay. Flamethrower. Inferno Tech Module. Ow! I prefer the shotgun. Oh, what was that? Excuse me. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I have returned. It was something in the street. Hmm. This game is actually really fun. I am enjoying it quite a bit. What is that blue thing? Ah, no, it should be from... It's probably in a section later on. Okay. Aha. There's a zombie to my right. Zombies to the... Can't open this? Yes, I can. Okay. Are Mexican also crazy about football? Only about, you know, like soccer. There are some that like what we call American football, but it's mostly about soccer. Not me though. I usually prefer to play things rather than watch them when it comes to sports. But I also don't like the politics behind it all, the inner workings, who gets popular, what teams end up winning, things like that. Apply to all sports, of course. Can't open this. Can't open this. Can't open this. Can't open this one. What? Oh, go. Okay. Again. Oh, one of my companions a bit wounded. What's here? Oh no, my radar! You ran out of batteries. No energy. Oh, why did you guys not kill this guy? Maradona and Chespirito went to Epstein. Well, I'm not sure, probably, most likely, right? But you know that even within those mafias, they still have like subgroups, like circles. Not all of them get completely along. Oh, what the fuck? There is a barrel. I need to save the game because there is a chance that I may end up exploding myself along with the barrel. Oh, Jaguar. Actually, one of our more famous actors, Cantinflas. You know, you probably have heard of him. Very famous Mexican comedian. He was also part of that those groups. And he had this huge mansion. If I remember correctly, it was called the Mermaid's Mansion. La Casa de las Sirenas, or La Mansión de las Sirenas. And in that place, supposedly, he contacted demonic sirens. Pretty crazy story. But all of the rich and famous went there. And they did all sorts of horrible pacts and ceremonies and whatnot. But, as I understand it, Chespirito did go to that place. It wouldn't surprise me if they invited Maradona as well. You know how Maradona was doing the signs? You know, the certain sign where you cross the arms when his team scored a goal and whatnot. Because they need to do those signs to thank them for the favors. Oh, that was great. What's the sound? One of my teammates died. There's something out there in the dark, but I can't see it. Your stories are amazing. Never change, Jaguar. Thanks. At least they are entertaining, right? Even though it has to do with some sordid realities. Never boring. Oh no, one of my companions died. What? What? Where the fuck? What's that sound? No switch here. Sounds like a bunch of wings. Oh, no wonder he got killed. Somehow he ended up there. My companions are still down there. How did they go down there? What? Oh, I need to help them, but I'm not sure how to go down there. I only have 2 squad mates remaining. Are they still alive? Because I only see 2 health meters. So weird. Oh, yeah! Oh, this is the place. Oh! There we go. We were reminiscing about Orphan. You watched that anime? Yeah, I did. It has a Spanish dub in the early 2000s. I love the first season. The second one, not so much. I actually didn't finish watching the second season. It felt like too surreal. You suddenly had this woman playing a piano in the middle of nowhere, like in a canyon. Made no sense. And I didn't watch the remake. But yeah, I did enjoy the first one. The entire thing about the dragon being orphan's love interest and all of that. Or unrequited love. Really good. Never played the game. There was like a PlayStation 2 game, I think. PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. One of those. Won't open. Oh! Alright. Oh! Well, that's unfair because you open the door and the moment you open it, you receive a mallet to the face. What am I telling you? I have 400 bullets for the Uzi. Nice. The game is PlayStation 2, launch title, emulated it yesterday, it was very janky. There are some anime games out there that if you are like a super fan, sometimes you manage to see through those imperfections, right? I had the Vampire Hunter D PlayStation 1 game. And despite... Oh fuck the door, it was closing in on me. Despite it having some areas that are lacking, I still enjoy it quite a bit. Somebody died up here. Can't open this. Fuck. Now switch. Now switch. It had very good art direction. I understand they expanded the story a lot. The remake is closer to a light novel, and it suffers because of it. Ooh. So the best one is the first season of the old anime, I guess. On that subject, do you like the first Vampire Hunter D movie or Bloodlust better? I like them both the same, but well, of course, in terms of animation, Bloodlust is incredible, right? But there's something that I didn't like about the first one, and it's I don't know if you read the books. I have a lot of the Vampire Hunter D books, some of them in digital format. I want to get them all physical, but sometimes they are not on sale. They are difficult to find. They are being re-released in omnibus format. But in the first movie, the love interest should have been Ramika, you know, the vampire the vampire's daughter, the daughter of Count Magnus Lee. But they made Doris like the love interest. But in the novel, it is actually the vampire that is more like the love interest. So I always that always annoyed me. Like I want to see more romance between the vampire girl and vampire hunter D. Ah, there you are. Okay, just turn down something. Could it be the metal door that I saw in the part with... Is it here? Yeah, maybe it's that. Are the novels good? Some of them are good, some of them are just decent. I never found a Vampire Hunter D novel because there are several of them, there are several volumes. But I never thought, oh, this volume was a waste of time, or I didn't like this story. What I think is the weakness of some of the novels. Well, there are a few weaknesses. First weakness. I think that when the author, I forget the name, Kikuchi Amano, was it him or was it the artist? Well, the author had to mature as a writer as he wrote the novels. So the first novels, while good, they have some details that make you think too anime, like too old school anime. Like, for example, in the novel, Doris is described as a mature woman, a warrior, etc. Still a victim of the vampire, right? But sometimes she sticks out her tongue, like she goes, like she, like that, and it felt so out of character for her. Like she suddenly turned into like a little kid or what? Maybe if she had like a different personality, it would fit. But it had those details. Other details. Sometimes the battles are described. I like them both, but I felt more for the main character in the first one. Yes, because in Bloodlust, Vampire Hunter D feels a bit like a secondary character, right? Like a very powerful secondary character. They even mentioned that in an interview, that the main characters were the Marcus brothers. Almost. You could say that the blonde sister was more like the main character. And Vampire Hunter D, like, he was almost like this really powerful secondary character. And the other thing that I don't like I said, they describe the battles very ambiguously. Sometimes they, like a cop-out. He would say something like, and with some incredible skill, he accomplished this. Or by employing a remarkable technique, he did that, but he never tells you exactly what the technique is. Like, how did he do it? For example, do you remember Reganse, the mutant that could twist time and space? Or at the very least bend space, right? He, in the novel, when Vampire Hunter D defeats him, they never explain why. They never just say, and he struck with his sword, and at the last moment, with remarkable skill, he managed to overcome the space bending technique and skewers his foe or something. But they never tell you, how did he manage to overcome the space bending technique? How? Right? There we go. Instead of saying something like, some people say that it's the fault of the translator, that the translator sucks. But they could have said something like, at the last moment, D delayed his attack, and with maddening speed, enacted the thrust once more, confusing Regense's technique. No, Regense's use of the technique and stabbing him through the heart. You know? So it has those errors. It's already on. Go over here. We need to go down there, but how? How do you go down there? Here? No. So weird. And maybe you don't know this, Nero, but the Marcus brothers in the novels, they are absolute scum. They are like the lowest of the low. Pretty much complete thugs. Very skilled thugs, but thugs nonetheless. Can't open this. In the Bloodlust film, they're pretty amazing despite having some details, right? But in the books, imagine like the thing that only an absolute scumbag would do, like the worst of the worst. They do that. What? What? They are members of the Alpha Squadron. We have to save the game. They weren't there. The people that were sent before were turned into zombies, and the zombies are wielding the firearms. Would you say the movie adaptation was more interesting? The movie adaptation is better, improves upon the novel. And Meyer Link, he's so weak in the novel, extremely weak. In the container. Yes, there are no survivors.
Message received. Too bad about pt3.
So what? We go back or what? And I was saying, Bloodlust is much better in every way, in every single way. The book was not bad, but the Marcus brothers, as portrayed in Bloodlust, they really bring. They're so charismatic. They bring so much to the story. So I prefer the Bloodlust OVA over the novel. So now what? We go back to the roof. And what's that sound? It sounds like bracelets, wings flapping or something. So we have located the boxes. Of course, we cannot take them with us. So I'm guessing we must return. What is that metallic structure? Well, who knows? We are returning to the entrance. So they can pick us up. On. was there an on switch? Can't see anything because I ran out of the battery for the lamp. In YouTube, in the video, it is shown with a bit more light, but here it is so dark. Okay, man, back to the start. Was it up here? What? Who said that? Who said flesh? Ah! Oh! Where is my team? Lazy fucks, they're just waiting down there. I'll take care of everything. So these were the guys making the noise because of the hammers. I can still hear them. Can't open this. Zombie thing eaters. I guess I'll follow the flapping noise. I have this friend, he drinks ding dong lattes every day. When confronted, he says he doesn't need to train because he owns guns for defense, a car for moving around, and has health benefits. What advice would you give him? Well, I would tell him that for starters, this is going to be a shock for some. And this is just my personal recommendation, right? This is not medical advice, this is just me sharing my experience. Milk and coffee, they are very, very bad for the health. When the baby drinks milk from the mother, of course, that is good because it's human milk. But any sort of other milk, very bad. That's just my recommendation. You can do whatever you like, right? And because it's a milk, for starters, it was like really never made for human consumption. And it's a product in constant decomposition, just like cheese. It's like rancid. Not to mention the many chemicals that they use on it, right? And on the other hand, coffee, it is literally, it is difficult to say. In science fiction, coffee is a pesticide. It's even used in labs. The science fiction YouTube, this is not true. This is not true, YouTube. You know, we are all lying here. This is not true. Take a look at, in science fiction, at the people that have issues here, you know, here. The organ that is here. They all drank that. So coffee, it is very useful if you want to keep insects and all sorts of vermin and whatnot. You sprinkle coffee, mostly insects, and it keeps them away because it is pesticide. In science fiction YouTube, this is all a lie. I would never attempt to say something against coffee YouTube. We all love coffee. So I would start by telling him that. Not to mention, like I said, the chemicals in those things, right? And when it comes to guns, you need to train because someone that has better reflexes, better control of breathing, better hand-eye coordination, better everything, he's going to shoot first. He's going to react before you, a split second. And a car for moving, a car is always useful, but sometimes cars do not work. Cars can end up ruined, and when cars are ruined, you have to rely on your legs. Let's see. Health benefits. Ask your friend if he's actually healthy or if he's suffering a bunch of chronic conditions. Is your friend perhaps overweight with eye problems and coughs all the time and has digestive issues, etc.? So those health benefits, yeah, they may not be so healthy in science fiction. That's the advice that I would give him. That's why I actually prefer having like a small circle of friends rather than a really large group of friends, because a lot of people don't listen and they end up paying the consequences. You tell them, no, don't do that, don't you see that this is going to happen to you, and they're like, nah, blah blah blah, and a couple of years will go by and, oh, I have these health problems and I don't know how to heal myself. Some damage could be irreparable, don't take the risk. I also advise against chocolate. It hampers the absorption of many nutrients and keeps you somewhat in a high state. That's why a lot of people love chocolate, because it gives you really like, but then you need more chocolate to no longer have that state, and you're like, I want to stay happy again. You buy more chocolate and you need more and more. The science fiction YouTube. These are all lies, YouTube. And here, oh, an on-off button. Ahaha. But I need to get there. Don't they have batteries? I do! Finally! Awesome! We're back in business, come on! Get all the blue thingies, come on. Blue thingies are on the other side, okay. I see a red dot. Red dot on the radar. What? I see you! Burn! I just think drinking 3 Ding Dong lattes a day and not exercising is bad for you. Don't drink even a single one. Sometimes, that will be my advice. Sometimes people don't see what's happening in their bodies until it's too late. But that's just me, right? Even if he can afford a mobility scooter, it's not right. Definitely not right. There's always an underlying issue. Sometimes it's a girl, sometimes it's just being disappointed with life in general. But there's something that steered your friend towards that lifestyle. He should identify exactly what is going on with him, what is his sadness. And when he identifies the real problem, he's going to stop, he's going to see more reason in arguments, in logic, in the actual science of using the scientific method to prove if something is true or not. Like, I don't know if you saw there was a very stupid guy here in YouTube. Very old and stupid guy. He was like I would say, a much weaker version of Barg. Imagine Barg, but super weak. Very weak. And instead of instead of pretending to support a natural lifestyle, he, he was all about toxic civilization. And he was like, well, a happy meal a day never hurts anyone. He died last year. He was only 62, as I understand it. When there are people that take a more natural approach and they are in their 90s or 80s and they're still very healthy. And before that, even before dying, he spent like 15 years suffering all sorts of chronic health problems. Following that mentality of, well, a happy meal a day. Let's eat some Domino's pizza. Who was that? I'll tell you his name. In fact, Nero, I think you will enjoy a video. I destroyed that bastard. One of my greatest destroy someone that is science fiction YouTube. I destroyed them in a video game YouTube. One of my masterpieces of absolutely annihilating someone in video games, right? It came when I targeted that bastard in a video game because he was doing a lot of evil things. That's why people usually say don't mess with the Jaguar, right? Because the Jaguar's bite is pretty dangerous. That fictional character died a year after I in video games. Those that know how such things could happen know, right? Let's say it's spiritual matters in video games. Okay, let me find the video. And the creepy thing is, when the guy died, they found him unalive, unalive on his chair while playing Skyrim. They found him like 2 or 3 weeks later, his rotting corpse. That also speaks that he was not tolerated by the people around him, and they didn't believe me. I told people that guy used to be working for the U, waiting for the algorithm, S, waiting for the algorithm, A, Department of, waiting for the algorithm. We are waiting justice. Check his obituary. Sean Driscoll. Check it out. And you can see there, it is confirmed he worked for that organization. You know how I recognize this? Not only because he gave various clues, later on he admitted it, but let's find it. Here we go. The control methods he used over his simps are standard for that organization. So there you go, Nero. If you're curious about this guy, and I'm also going to put a funny video. This is my like celebration video when I knew that once, like I said, once the Jaguar bites, it's over. So once I took the bite, I knew it was over for him. So I did this little video. Let's see. Here we go. Where is it? Very, very, very funny video. Here it is. Here it is. And yeah, uh, evil people shouldn't mess with real Setinas, with the Setina bloodline. This one, you're going to love this video in Europe. Yeah, that was pretty much it. He was done. Once that happened, he was done. Saving the game. And the creepy thing is that when he was playing the last live stream he did featuring Skyrim, I was told about this and I went and saw the video. Incredible, yeah. A non-player character told him, make sure that you don't die. Make sure that you don't die. And after that, a day or a few days after that, it happened. That's always something that I also disagreed with Varg. Varg doesn't believe in certain spiritual things, right? Well, Varg, sometimes you have to be very, very careful with those things. Just because you can't see it, you can't touch it, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Did he go after you or something? Yeah. Yeah, he did. I explained all of that in the video. In the Odyssey video. And I was like, well, this is the perfect opportunity to take action. I was just waiting for the moment, for the right moment. And I'd say, well, it's time. It's like that Green Lantern, the Oath of the Green Lanterns. How was it? In Blackest Day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. I'll Jaguar spite. I just modified it. Instead of Green Lantern's light, I'll Jaguar spite. And I remember each and every one of those that supported that bastard. And that I was told by my contacts, by a couple of little birds. They told me, hey, did you notice that these pieces of shit were mourning his loss? And I was like, betrayal. Yeah, I never forget. I'm like Conan. I never forget a face or women's figures. Yes, I knew it. I knew there was a switch. That's the scene that I like in Blade 1. Was it 1 or Blade 2? Blade 2, right? When a vampire thought he had escaped, like this very weaselly vampire, he was like, oh, I made it out alive. And at the end of the movie, Blade, he's like, I didn't forget about you, motherfucker, or something. Why would he go after you? You're like the most wholesome Mexican ever, thank you. Because I speak against evil. He didn't like it. Because he used to work for a certain department of, let's call it the Department of Defending of a certain country that has 3 letters. And some of them are like, some people got really scared when they knew I started my offensive. They said, oh, but doesn't he have like connections in this and that? And I was like, he has his connections and I have my own. My connections are everywhere. My connections cannot be seen. It was incredible. In fact, let me give you the... I also went like on a, how you say, a spree of humiliation. I kind of like record the entire thing in a series of videos. There are a lot of like a meme, almost senseless videos, but it's part of the operation. The Celts, in the times of Cuchulainn, in Celtic history and mythology, they warn that when you anger a poet, a bard, an obit, a true bard, and he starts a mocking campaign, it is like a death sentence. Let me find the playlist. There's a lot like a YouTube poop type of videos in that playlist, but it contains many videos that put things into context. Really played the mind game with that guy because I even manipulated him through trickery to expose how he didn't know how to roleplay. Because I know the sort of programming that people within that organization go through. It's a very specific type of indoctrination. So I knew what buttons to push him into oblivion. Here is the playlist. There are several videos there. Like I said, not all of the videos are worth watching. They are part of the operation. What was his problem with you? Like I said, I spoke against YouTube digital science fiction, against governments, against religion, against... In science fiction, this is not true. Against religion, against harmful chemicals, call them like that. Against all sorts of things. So he started to get real mad, and I realized that that guy was traumatizing people. He was going after people in YouTube, trolling them, stalking them, because he said that they didn't know how to roleplay. So that was a really good opening, and I told him, well, Shanner, come on and play one of my games. Let's play an online RPG session to see if you actually know how to roleplay. He was like, no. Yeah, let's roleplay. Let's have a roleplay session so you can teach others how to do it. No. And and that's when he got real mad and he started to try to stalk me and harass me. But El Jaguar, when someone makes mocking videos about you, there is always a chance that people are going to watch your channel. So I actually obtained about 200 subscribers. 200 or 150? I obtained a bunch of subscribers, like a bunch of them. They just came into my videos, into my channel, because he was doing those mockery videos, and they remain as subscribers up to this day. So it ended up backfiring because my content is actually good. That is, I am still lacking in some technical skills and whatnot. But my content is, like you said, pretty wholesome and trying to help people, inform them about what is going on, while playing games, talking about games, etc. So it backfired horribly for him. Oh, if only I had the radar, because you can hear them throwing axes, and it's not the way. It must be in the other direction. And it was pretty tragic because we actually knew several people, and for whatever reason, I guess it's a problem with the single mother problem. This is a lie, YouTube. There is no single mother problem. Those people that... This is a lie, YouTube. This is all science fiction. That don't have strong father figures. So they're constantly looking for an internet daddy. Found a debate with you two about psionics, exactly. I managed to expose him quite a bit. He revealed some things about his ex-wife, and I started to see he was part of them, you know? You know who I'm talking about, right, Nero? The people that you can't mention here in YouTube? Let's call them the chosen ones. He was part of the chosen ones. So it was a huge mess, but I'm glad it happened because I'm always happy taking care of evildoers like those. But like I said, tragically, there were some people that we knew, both of us knew, and they decided to take his side, and right now they are not They are not doing so well, right? What's that sound? There was someone. Someone is fighting. Where are they fighting? What was that sound? These stages are labyrinths. That's why loyalty is super important. If there is someone that is not grateful or loyal to you, that person needs to go. Get them out of your social circle, so to speak. To put it kindly. And in Spanish, we have, at least in Mexico, maybe in other Spanish-speaking countries as well, we have a saying: "Dime con quién te juntas y te diré quién eres." Tell me who you hang out with, and I will tell you who you are. So once you take someone's side, you're pretty much saying who you really are. Cannot be happy if you're not thankful, exactly. A lot of the people that took his side, they didn't know how to roleplay at all. They couldn't roleplay for shit. They had no idea how to roleplay in tabletop role-playing games. It taught them how to do it, and they ended up siding with that other bastard. So I was like, of course you know, this means war. So this is war, huh? Wow. Kinda like that. Wow, what a labyrinth. I have no idea where... No, it has to be up, right? What's here? Up or down, up or down. Such a huge labyrinth. I can hear them. Bastards with the axes. No, of the mallets. They are here. Oh. Up! I see you! More barrels? Alright. Careful! Medkit. Alright. What? That was it? Isn't there like a switch? There has to be a switch, right? No switch? Hello? Can't open this. This is a very large room. We already activated this. And I think I will need another session to finish this one. So we're saving the game. Save the game in El 1. There we go. Alright. Thank you, Nero, for being here, and thank you to everyone else. This is going to be the end for this live stream. Tomorrow we will continue with more things, of course. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar. And remember, level up in game and level up in life. Once again, thank you all, thank you Nero, and have a great rest of your evening, day, wherever you are. See you later.